We take a lot of pride in the work that we do for the state, and we expect the respect and dignity that any employee who works for the employer of choice would expect, to be paid fairly, to be treated well, and to be given an opportunity to contribute.
An employee in this bargaining unit who was making $35,000 10 years ago actually has experienced a $15,700 loss in purchasing power.
I go without. Does my husband go without? What do we do?
It's time just to say enough's enough.
We're going to have to get everybody together and have to let the state of Minnesota know that we're for real and that we're ready to take them on, that the time has come not to get thrown a bone anymore. We want the whole piece of meat.
When taken in two rows of laddie body slam many a man about them he felt the same. If you're not a millionaire, it seems he don't really care. If you live or die tomorrow, it's the same. While Jesse is the boss, gauge workers take the loss. We'll picket and we'll be brave. And when the strike is when we're back to work for everyone, we'll stand up for our rights until the grave.
An awful lot in this country that we take for granted in the workplace, from vacations to sick leave to 8-hour days, is because of the work that union men and women in the past have done for us. And I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional, but I feel like I'm a part of continuing that battle. And that for my kids to be able to have a place to work that's safe and respectful and decent, this is something that all of us have to do. And nobody wants to go on a strike. But I think if we don't have strong unions in America, if we don't stand up and say that we're going to be treated with respect, and we're going to have a fair salary, and we're going to have insurance, and the myriad other things that are covered in that contract, we will go backwards. Not just public employees, but all workers, whether they're unionized or not. And I think that this is vitally important work, and I've been working real hard at it, and a lot of other people have. And this isn't just about money for us. This is about our children, their future, and respecting the efforts of the union people in the past who literally died for these privileges. So it's vitally important. Thanks. I didn't have any idea I was going to get that emotional about it.
Everybody's working to get a good contract. We hope we can get one without a strike. We're fully prepared to be coordinating strike activities if it comes to that at every work site throughout the state of Minnesota.
My temporary title is the events coordinator, and this has been deemed as part of my jobs as assigned as handing out 10,000 LAS. They're going to be used as informational picket signs at some events we have coming up.
It's been important that we've been preparing for this for several months. Although the contract vote doesn't happen until a couple of weeks from now, the fact that we've been organizing strike captains, ordering the materials, and getting the word out needed to take place several months ago so that we can be geared up and ready to go. Now we're actually at the point where we're practicing strikes.
We want a solidarity of unions together. All unions came together for a free picnic and gathered with songs and guest speakers. We had about 1,200 people that came.
And Chris came up with the idea for a picnic, so they looked for volunteers, and we were volunteered.
Yeah, we will strike if provoked.
Will ya?
You better believe it.
Do you think they're disrespecting you? Do you think they're not paying attention to you? What is it?
Disrespect. I think it's disrespect. You know, the governor and the government tells us that we're valued employees, but with the contract offer they're giving us, it doesn't look like it.
We followed the governor's orders. We did the research. We did the homework. We came up with a fair contract. They said no. Are we going to take this? No! What do we want? No! When do we want it? Now! Hell yeah!
the Minnesota Association of Professional Employees voted, and the votes are in, and it's not even close. They voted overwhelmingly today to reject the state's final contract offer, setting the stage for a strike on September 17th, because they say the state won't acknowledge their value.
That's the work that we do, the behind-the-scenes underpinnings of the quality of life for every citizen in the state. There is nothing fancy or racy about what we do, and we're very good. You don't even know we're there. And maybe that's been part of the problem. And now our members want you to know we're here.
I mean, if there's anything, we'll have tried to settle. And that's for one thing. You're not negotiating with good faith. And for one thing, you're not showing respect for 80% of us who have spoken with one voice. And you just ignore it. You know what? I'll take back some. That's just totally unacceptable.
Picket lines will be set up at all the work locations, at all the entrances. As far as behavior on the picket lines, we're expecting people to basically behave. This is a public relations type situation that we're into. We don't need people out there that are going to be swearing or yelling, obscenities, that kind of things that people that are crossing. If there's help out there, we can help them, but we got to know what's going on, and hopefully they'll come to us before they decide to cross that line. I think there is some fear out there about what's going to happen to my insurance, and am I going to pay this? What about the people that do cross? And hopefully we alleviated some of those fears, but again, like in '81 when I was out, it just came to a point of no matter what it took, I'm not crossing that line.
In 1999, MAPE came within 15 minutes of a right to strike maturing, and we were able to get a settlement in that final hours. At that point in time, I think there was a feeling somewhat that somehow professionals don't strike. And with what's going on in the community, what's going on with the nurses, what's going on with the airline pilots, people are realizing that professionals sometimes have to do that. I think the learning curve of this year was compounded with a pretty tough legislative session, followed by the near shutdown and then negotiations going nowhere. What I'm sensing traveling around the state and both here in the city, in the metropolitan area and statewide, is a resignation that maybe enough is enough and they're going to have to withhold their services in order to get a decent contract. And I think that's a major step for public employees in the state of Minnesota. To reach the point that I'm not saying they want to do it for fun. They understand that they may have to do it in order to achieve what's right and just.
As we are getting closer to the due date, it is feeling very, very emotional, and it's as if we're driving this big ship and we know that we're going to be crashing soon.
I was watching TV on the morning of 9/11, and I saw the plane crash into the World Trade Center and all that was going on. My first thought was that nothing is important anymore, that it's just me and my family in this room. That's the only thing in the world that's important to me right now. And then as time went on, I started to change, where I started thinking that everything had even more importance. It's even more important how our relationships with other countries and my relationship to our government, my relationship to our neighbors and friends, and so I started thinking about our place and my place in the world and what I needed to do to try and make things better.
Speaking about patriotism, there's nothing more patriotic than getting the job done right. With the contract offer, the last offer, it's just not done right. If we can't keep up with the inflation, we can't keep doing a good job. I mean, eventually, our workforce will suffer. The quality will decrease. Again, who is going to say next terrorist attack won't come through our food inspection system? With quality service out there, we will stop them. Without that, who knows what's going to happen?
Minnesota state employees were the first to take any major labor action after September 11th, and I think that that resounded throughout the world and empowered thousands of people to consider their lot in life, and you know, the fact that it was clear that employers were going to take advantage of this situation, whether they were in public service or not. I think it strengthened folks a little bit by being once again challenged, like with the shutdown, and then also gave folks a greater sense of patriotism for going out there and doing that.
People died for my right to do what we are doing right now, and I'm very proud to be doing what I'm doing right now.
Some people may think it's not a good time, but there isn't going to be a good time. Our contract was up in July, and we've been negotiating since then. It just happens that we're now come to this at this time.
The state of Minnesota cannot work without you and your brothers and sisters. You are going to shut this state down, and we need your help, and know that we're there with you.
I'm still a little bit scared, but I know I was looking in the mirror the other day and I said, are we really going to do this? Are we going to go on strike? And I looked at myself and I said, what else can we do? We have no other options. We have to go on strike. This is what people do. They work for a living, and they withdraw their work when they feel they're not getting what they need.
My son has asked, you know, Dad, what's going on? And you kind of say, this is something I have to do now for the long term.
My stomach's churning. The adrenaline, I'm sure my adrenaline's off the charts. It's really hard to describe. It's just a real different feeling. Never gone through anything like this before.
There were several different picket lines on the Northland today as union members began their strike.
I feel that our union was forced to this stance. I don't think that we would have turned down something that was at least close.
We had a great deal of camaraderie. You know, on the strike line, there were people that were making friendships that they've maintained to these days. You know, you met people and you never worked with them before. And, you know, of course, there's a great deal of food. You know, we ate well, but not healthily, but we ate large quantities of really bad food.
We would gather people up, start gathering up folks at 6 o'clock in the morning, and almost invariably, when we got down there, there was a communications worker, you know, someone from another labor organization, or even folks that were just simply in the public that wanted to help out, sitting there waiting for us in the morning with the donuts. I don't know if I'll ever eat a donut again.
Our bosses came out and helped us. You know, our supervisors came out and gave us food.
We're separated by agency and by function and by duty quite a bit, and we really crossed all those boundaries out there. And as people fed off each other out on the line and kept themselves strong, and you know, making sure that you know, their co-workers had water and food and everything through the day, and having, you know, folks that had volunteered to just simply spend the day in the vans driving around, making sure folks had coffee and everything. There were some nasty days out there.
Yeah, I will. I've got a 100-pound hog we're roasting out here today for going to have us a Spanferkel. Depends on which language you're looking at it from. If you're looking at it from the Hawaiian side, it's a luau, but it's going to be a luau with mittens. I tell you, it's plenty cold out there today.
We always did a lot of fun things to try and keep our sanity when we were out on the strike line. You know, it's cold and stuff, so we would have contests and things about how many people we could get to honk.
Come on! There's a smile. Come on, let's go!
And when they did honk, then the people at the management in our building could hear them honk and could hear the support that we had. So we always had a lot of fun with that.
And the people honking and waving. I mean, you could hardly not get a tear in your eye just from watching these families drive by and giving us the thumbs up and telling us, stay out there, stay strong. You know, we believe in you. And it just kept us moving. One gentleman in particular He was out there before we actually activated the lines every morning, and he stood in that line for 12 hours a day, and I'd literally have to order him off the line to go get something to eat or go take a break.
We try to make this as fun as we can, but it's not fun. There's no way it can be. I mean, our families are feeling it. You know, our kids have been out picketing with us. Our families, this weekend, my wife's sister wants to come out and picket with us because she says, you know, it affects my nephew and my niece.
Judy Armstrong, who has a 14-month-old daughter at home.
I do. I need to take care of her, but I also have a job that I need to take care of, too.
We gave up a lot. Being a single parent, my son really didn't understand, so I had to sit down and explain to him the reason why Mom is going on a picket line, the reason why we're fighting for a better cause. I was working a second job. I even had a second job that, you know, to help pay for things. And it was hard to be out for 2 weeks. There were times that we didn't have food in the house. So, that was something that, you know, I let my kids eat. But there were a couple of times I had to eat, so. But, you know, I knew we would have food in the picket line, you know. But, yeah.
A lot of encouragement amongst each other. You know, yeah, this sucks and whatever. Yeah, I got to go to my other job, and glad you came out, and how are things going? And a lot of personal support amongst the members.
Veterans' homes like this one in Silver Bay are also feeling effects of the strike. As workers picket, National Guard members were brought in to care for the residents. Residents say it's not the same.
Well, it affects everything. These people as well as us, and we're fortunate that we do have the Guard in here. Of course, they don't know what these people know.
You know what it took to get the state out of the shutdown. That's the same thing it's going to take here. The governor had to step in, act like the leader in the job he was elected to do.
Back to the table! Back to the table!
Ventura's thinking about striking employees who camp outside the studios while the governor touts the state's offer.
Bring the state back to the table! Bring the state back to the table!
State strikers lined up outside the station. You can hear,
"What do you want? When you want it? Now!"
I was personally disappointed as a person who's supposed to be essentially our boss. You would think he would have a direct interest in wanting to be here and negotiate this out.
He's not talking to us, he's not talking to the press, he's not talking to the people of Minnesota. So it's a one-sided conversation and it makes me frustrated. But there's not much I can do about it, except be out here.
It's just a kind of a fashion statement, I guess.
Craig Sturley admits he's mocking the governor's professional wrestling days with the feather boa, but he says the fashion statement is only a means of attracting attention to his union's message.
We hope the negotiations go well, but we're going to be here for the long haul, and I think they need to know that.
All our brothers and sisters are here on the line today for the purpose of letting our governor know that we're interested in a fair contract.
We had a lot of people out here with cell phones ready to call, and he wasn't going to take them.
After the strikers couldn't reach the governor by phone, they tried to stop his bus from leaving the facility.
Come on, Jesse!
But state patrol officers broke up the human barricade. And the strikers later found out that the governor wasn't even on the bus. He made his exit in the air. For the second day in a row, Governor Ventura had avoided Northland workers walking the picket line.
If he would have came out and just said, hey, we're going to the tables, let's hope we can get something done, that would have been a nice gesture.
It's really getting tight. I can only speak for myself, but I've heard a lot of other people with the same tone. So that's why we're getting so much support out here now. Maybe not exactly this minute, but
The reason I'm out here is because I think it's important for the students to support the whole strike, because these people are heart and soul of our institution. There's, you know, they take care of everything aside from teaching the classes, And that's why I'm trying to kind of bolster the support from the student body and organize a rally for next week, because we really need to have everybody out here and fight for the cause.
We've given them our property here to use as a strike headquarters, use our facilities. Hopefully it won't go on too long, but as long as they need it, they've got our support basically.
You're always there for us. We're going to be there with you.
This is the first time I've ever been on strike before. It's very scary. I like my job and I like helping the students at the college, and it was very hard to walk across and watch the students be angry with us for striking today, but it was a necessary move for us to do, and it was a very reassuring feeling coming here today and being told that you're doing the right thing, and to see so many fellow union brothers and sisters.
The 50,000 Teamsters in this state stand shoulder to shoulder with you. Your fight is just. And I want you to know that the drivers, the brothers and the sisters will never cross your picket line.
To MAPE, our brothers and sisters in MAPE. Our members last night voted to allocate $5,000 per week of the strike to MAPE to support union workers. We're with you however long this takes. You're fighting the good fight for all of us. Hang in there, get a good settlement. You deserve it.
I remember on day one at Ground Zero, I was by the rubble. I had pockets of smoke and fire coming out of the rubble. I was so hot, I flipped my helmet up to take a break, and I turned around. You want to know what I saw? I saw thousands of union workers working together for a common cause. If you stick together, you will get what you want. We need to unite and stick together. Thank you very much.
But when we had our 2-week break and we agreed to try and let things settle a little bit, these folks got together on their own in recognition of what our brothers and sisters in New York were going through, did a collection and raised $10,500.
In spite of the fact that that members of Region 2 were going to be facing a tremendous financial impact by going out, they came together and started this fundraiser in order to help the folks in New York City, which was really a wonderful thing, and of course built even more solidarity as we prepared to go out the door.
And I want to thank everyone from Minnesota for all your support and all your prayers. God bless you.
New York! New York! New York! New York! New York! New York!
You've got to stand in solidarity here in Minnesota. It's important not just for Minnesota, but it's important all across the country. If a governor like Jesse Ventura can get away with this, then governor after governor and state after state will try and get away with it as well. Stand up! Stand up! Stand up!
We just stopped the semi.
Who was it? It was a big semi. Really? Was it that Federated Consolidated Freight? Good. What'd you say to him? I said, are you a union? And he says, yeah. And he said, well, you know, don't cross our picket line. He goes, I won't. Just turn around and look at it.
Now striking ain't no fun, but we're American. We love the red, white, and blue. We're the ones who toil on Minnesota soil. We do Minnesota's work for you.
Folks, look around at the power that's here. Look around at the support you have. We are showing this administration that you can only push the workers so far. There's only so far we can be asked to step back and dig deeper into our pockets to sustain government.
That's right.
We at MAPE, just like ASME, hope for the best tomorrow and Friday and whatever else it takes. But I was very pleased to hear you say that if it blows up, where you're going to be on Monday. And I'm just going to ask you the same question. Where will you be Monday if this doesn't work? All right, all right.
Off the picket line, on the job. After 2 weeks, the state of Minnesota and its two largest public employees unions are agreeing to tentative deals. About 23,000 AFSCME and MAPE employees started picketing October 1st, but after leading the largest strike of government workers in state history, they say they'll return to work tomorrow.
With this settlement, as it ultimately came down, could very honestly have been arrived at without a strike.
Some people were just relieved to be back to work, you know, and there are some people who felt that we should have held out longer, maybe, to get a little more money. There's some people who are so disgusted they want to quit.
When we came back in, people were like, oh, we're so happy you're back. Oh, we're really happy you're back. Thank you for coming back.
I'm glad to be back doing the job that I do and back with my friends and colleagues at MnDOT.
I feel just absolutely ecstatic. I'm elated. I love my job. I enjoy working with students.
Now state leaders and union members can move forward.
They're very relieved that this very stressful time is being put behind them. And again, ready to serve Minnesotans in the way they know best, back at their jobs.
Being able to come together and perform this strike and to do this labor action together, I think was sort of the indication that MAPE had finally reached adulthood or matured as a labor organization. It was just so galvanizing and so important that happened at that particular time.
It was the second largest public employees strike in the history of the country, and longer than the first largest one, which was only a day. Was the strike worth it in tangible ways like pride? You damn betcha. Yeah, certainly was. We're a union now. We weren't a union 5 years ago. The strike was worth it.
People have a higher respect for us. I think the state of Minnesota has a higher respect for us because they were really shocked that we were going to go out, and they didn't think that this was going to affect the state.
There were some people at my work who never had said much about being involved in the union or anything like that, and they were so supportive and so positive, and they really inspired me by the commitment they had to our union, and I guess I'll never forget some of those people. They've really changed me because of their courage.
The union really benefited from this strike because we've got a lot of fired up people, and they're getting political now. And that's the thing that's really exciting. You're seeing people that are going out there and working on political campaigns and going to caucus for the first time in their lives, like myself. And that's what's going to change the union. We're going to become a political force, and I'm really looking forward to that.
If we can keep what we developed there, and if we can continue to build the union and build the labor movement, and I was left with just such a wonderful impression that reminds you every day what you did was extraordinary and it was correct, and they'll never be able to take away that respect and dignity that we earned out there on that sidewalk.
And when the strike is won, we're back to work for everyone. We'll stand up for our rights until